An e-bike that is made specifically for kids. At least that's what Emojo claims on their Street X. We'll flip around on this side of the bike and you can see that there's this cool Street X branding here on the side of the bike. So this is a legal class 2 bike as far as what most jurisdictions deem a legal bike, even though it doesn't really look like a legal bike. You got a 750 watt motor and a 20 mile an hour top speed on this thing. So we are riding not dirty today, we're riding the opposite of dirty. And you can see they even advertise the fact that this is a 750 watt bike down here. If you are an eagle-eyed viewer right now, you will notice that we are missing something on this bike. We are missing full suspension on this thing. We don't even have half suspension on this thing. It is completely hardtail. Even the front, there is no front shock on this thing. Really, really different from what I'm used to. I'm used to not having rear suspension on a lot of bikes, but to have no shocks on the front forks is pretty interesting. So we are gonna be all on our own. We're gonna be relying on these fat tires back here, 20x4, and this really comfortable custom seat. We got some accented stitching on here. It's white. And on the side here, there is a cool little X that is embossed into the side of this material. We'll flip our headlight on too. I am gonna do a night ride of this bike, so I'll show you guys the headlight performance when we're taking this thing out at night in the next video. But if you're a parent that is worried about getting their child a e-bike that is too fast that they can unlock and make go crazy fast speeds, this is not gonna be that bike. All right guys, so we will do our 0 to 20 / top speed test because this thing is limited to 20 miles an hour. So 3, 2, 1, pedal assist 5, go. I think the screen is gonna lag a little bit behind on here. And I can feel it start to cut off the power right there before the screen got to 20. And it is only saying 19 on our GPS. Oh, there we go, 20. But off the line, I will say, we'll just pull over here real quick. And from a dig, it really eases you into the power, but it definitely doesn't seem like it's an underpowered bike at all. What's the riding experience like at 20 miles an hour? Definitely a really nice, stable feeling bike. And we also have hydraulic brakes on here, which if you don't know, are gonna be superior to cable brakes because you don't have to do as much maintenance on them. And the feel and the braking power is just gonna be so much better on hydraulic brakes. They are Star Union up here, and we'll give them a test right now, stopping from our top speed of 20 miles an hour. 3, 2, 1, and full brakes. Oh yeah, it stops very, very fast. We have no suspension on the front to dip down. So these brakes are gonna be really, really good, and they're actually kind of overkill for this bike. I mean, it's a bike that's only capable of going 20, maybe 28 if you're able to unlock this thing. I can't remember the last time I actually had a bike that had 0 suspension on. But if we're gonna be just taking this thing off-road here, going really slowly, then we can definitely do it. It's the higher speeds where that suspension is really gonna shine and help absorb some of those bumps. But just going at lower speeds like this, it's really not bad at all. This bike is definitely powerful enough to handle this grass. The real bottleneck on this is gonna be that suspension, or lack thereof, I should say. We don't have suspension on this. The Kenda tires are a knobby tire, so I mean, they are built to go off-road, but you gotta be prepared to take it slow if you're gonna be riding this thing off-road. Yeah, so a really chill experience riding this thing out here on the grass like this. Even though it is a relatively powerful bike, it's not an off-road bike, guys. Like, this has no suspension on it. It's just not an off-road bike, but you can definitely take it on some grass as long as you're not going too fast. But don't expect to keep up with your friends that are riding around on Sur-Ron. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a hill test here. This is a really small hill, but it's definitely not gonna make it up our bigger hill test. So I'm just gonna do throttle only, pedal assist 5. Oh yeah. Oh, having to help it up a little bit there. But let's get back out on the road here where this thing belongs. It does feel really, really great on the street, and these fat tires do help iron out some of the bumps out of the road and the trail here. But the ride certainly isn't exactly what I would call plush. We'll get out on the road here, and we're gonna take a big bump going down a curb here, see how it feels. Oh man, yeah, that is not, you wouldn't want to do that too fast. You know, I really can't remember the last time or if I've ever been on a bike that has no suspension at all. I think that most of the bikes that I've ever been on have had some sort of suspension. I mean, I'm not really missing suspension that much so far because I'm not on a particularly rough road, but back there on the off-road section, you know, it would have been nice to be able to go a little bit faster and not have to baby it so much. Ooh, that acceleration, man, it feels pretty good. And we were keeping up with that car there until about 18 miles an hour. But yeah, on the road, this thing feels really good. This is definitely where this bike is made to be. They are heavily marketing this bike towards kids and younger riders. I mean, they literally talk about riding this thing to school and their marketing material and stuff. So this is definitely a bike that is made for younger riders. They're really pushing the safety on this bike as well. Obviously, there's only a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit on this thing, so you're not going to be going very fast. And they also say that this thing has really bright headlight and a tail light with turn signals for a little bit of extra safety. And they also claim that this has a 65-mile range. They also say that that should be enough for a full week of commuting at school plus weekend fun. But yeah, maybe if your commute to school is like a couple miles each way, then sure, maybe you can get away with charging this thing once a week, but I think you're probably gonna need to charge it at least once or twice a week. And the big thing here is, since you're limited at 20 miles an hour, I know this bike is capable of doing more, but since it's not going faster, then we're gonna use less battery. So the riding position on this bike is pretty good. You can sit kind of upright on here. The handlebars do have a little bit of a rise to them. And I really like how this bike is styled. We'll pull over here for a second. And this bike is styled really, really cool. It does look like a really fast bike, but it definitely is limited at 20. But the thing I like about this frame is that there's nothing in here. So you can kind of mount whatever you want under here. And I think if they do have a dual battery version, there's gonna be another battery here. But on this single battery version, the battery is hidden underneath the seat, which I think more bike manufacturers should do because it just makes this bike look really, really sleek. Obviously, it's an e-bike. People know what these things are, but it still kind of doesn't look like an e-bike. Also, I have a design in California thing down there with the little California bear and some coordinates, which probably lead to somewhere in California. You do have a class 2 sticker on here, a reminder to wear a helmet. The frame has been made in Cambodia, and this thing has a 325-pound limit on it. No rear foot pegs, so you're not going to be bringing your friends out on this bike. And one weird thing too is that there is that plate that I showed you guys earlier down here, but there isn't another one on this side. So it's kind of like a lopsided thing on here. And then there is a hole in this plate down here so that you can plug in your charger in there. I don't know if you guys can see, you can plug in your charger in there and see how much battery you have. Yeah, definitely kind of a weird design choice by only having one. And this thing is just so smooth though. This is a really smooth and comfortable feeling bike. And hitting this curb, going back up on the trail here. Whew, man, that suspension bounces. That suspension, I'm so used to bikes having suspension. This bike bounces you around when you go over big bumps like that. But out here on the trail, so at first I was kind of confused about this bike, right? You get a 750 watt motor, you get a 20 mile an hour top speed, which it could do more if it was able to be unlocked. You also get no suspension and then a price tag of nearly $1,400 on this thing. So I'll just say flat out, if you're looking for a bike that is like a value bike, this isn't going to necessarily be it. You can get bikes that are half this much, that have suspension, that have a higher top speed, and even might have a bigger battery capacity. But I get this bike, and hear me out. I get this bike because it's a bike that is made for kids. It's a bike specifically that's made for parents that are looking to buy their kids a bike. See, parents aren't gonna want their kids to be going super fast down the trail. They see these videos of kids on Surons and on these high-powered e-bikes, and they don't want their kid to be doing wheelies and going super fast and be getting in trouble on the street. They want something that's gonna be legal for their kid and safe to ride around town. And guess what? That is what this bike is good at. It is legal, it's safe to ride around town, you're only gonna be doing 20 miles an hour, it's a class 2 bike, and that really is where this bike shines. Now, if you're a young kid and you are riding this thing to school, this is a good option because, you know, 20 miles an hour is really all you need. You don't have to worry about police officers giving you a hard time, even though this is a crazy looking moped style bike. So I understand why this bike exists. With that being said, I would like to see suspension on this thing, at least front suspension. I mean, the MacFox bikes, they have front suspension. I don't understand why that would be so hard to put on this bike at this price point especially. But if you're a kid and your parents are like, this is the best bike you're gonna get, then I think this is a pretty good option. It's pretty cool, and you're gonna be able to ride around with your friends and not have to pedal. Speaking of pedaling, let's pedal this thing. Now, there are 5 different pedal assist levels, cadence sensor on this bike. There is a 0 if you want to just completely pedal this thing by yourself. This isn't a very heavy bike. They do say that this frame is made of aluminum on this thing, so it is lighter than a lot of bikes, and you don't have any suspension on it. So, I mean, it is a pretty light electric bike. And, you know, we can pedal along here, and I'm assuming that there's gonna be people that are riding this that are much shorter. Kids, I should say, that are gonna be much shorter. Ooh. Wow, the throttle even works in pedal assist 0. That's interesting. Usually the throttle is cut off in pedal assist 0. While I'm at it too, I'll mention the standover height is really good on this bike. I'm 5'9", about 31-inch inseam. I can stand over this bike completely fine. So, you know, if you're a kid and you're like 5'5", you should be able to fit totally fine on this bike. Now, it gives us full throttle on pedal assist too. No matter what pedal assist you're in, it gives you full throttle. Yeah, so it gives me some assist here to about 9 miles an hour. We can pedal on this thing, and I'll shoot it up to 3 now. And after pedal assist 3, you're not really putting much effort in because there is only one gear on the back of this bike. So pedal assist 3 is a pretty good spot. Like I'm not ghost pedaling, I'm still inputting something, and I could probably help the battery range out here. But we'll go up into pedal assist 4. But yeah, now I am ghost pedaling. Like there's nothing, I'm doing absolutely nothing right now. Definitely ghost pedaling on this. And then pedal assist 5 obviously is gonna get you to your top speed. And here's a look at that single speed here on the rear. Single speed on the back, you can see right there, single speed sprocket right there. There's a tensioner on here, which is nice for when you go to change the back tire on this thing. It'll be a lot easier, and you won't have to adjust the position of the wheel like you would on like a dirt bike or something. So we have gone about 7 miles on our ride here, just throttle the whole time, riding at 20 miles an hour basically. And we're not gonna do a full range test in this video because I am gonna do a night ride video where I take this thing out and test the headlight and tail light and all that stuff. And I'm not gonna charge this, I'm just gonna put it back in the garage, and then we will figure out our final range number on that. We'll probably go another 10 miles on that ride. But yeah, for today, we're just gonna do a quick ride on this thing, give you guys kind of my first impressions. I mean, so far, this is a really cool looking, fun little e-bike for kids. I really had to like manage my expectations with this bike because obviously it's not that fast of a bike. And if you're looking for something that's purely a fast bike, this isn't gonna be it. This thing handles really, really well, man. The battery's in a really good position, and you can just hear those tires grip, dude. Crazy amount of grip on this thing. I'm gonna hit the brakes. Oh my gosh, these brakes are so crazy. These are such good brakes, man. Star Union makes some good brakes. I got these on my Magician Alpha Mini. So yeah, guys, we've gone about 9 miles now, 80% battery left according to our screen here. And my first impressions on this bike are that, you know, it's a good little bike. It feels like it's good quality. It's pretty fun to ride around. Tires are gripping like crazy. The brakes on here are awesome. The motor does feel pretty powerful, but obviously, like I said, you are limited to 20 miles an hour on this thing. And I can't really knock this bike for being limited to 20 miles an hour because technically it is a legal bike, but I will give it a hard time on the price. I think this is kind of expensive for what you're getting. I think at $800 or $900, this bike would be a much better deal. But at $1,400, I think that you are paying a lot for this bike. Now it does compete with stuff like the Mac Fox, which is also a bike that's geared for kids. And the Mac Fox is $1,600 for their entry level. So when you look at it like that, it is $200 cheaper than the competition. Other than that, guys, we're gonna do about 10 miles on our ride today, 80% battery left on this thing. So we should have good battery since we're only locked at 20 miles an hour on this. We're not gonna wear down the battery as quickly. We're gonna do a full night ride and complete our range test in a part 2 on this bike. I'll link that too if you want to see how this bike performs at night and you want to see the range. If you guys do want to pick this bike up, I will leave a link in the description and any coupon codes that I can get for you guys on this bike as well. If you buy through my link, it does help support the channel, but I always appreciate you guys buying through my links and supporting the channel and keep things moving over here at Amped Cycle. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys next time and ride safe out there. See you guys.